My name is DJ Tom Loud from Hot Dub Time Machine, and I'm going back to school with Student Edge.
Hi, my name's Simon Miraudo, and today I'm chatting with DJ Tom Loud of Hot Dub Time Machine. Thanks for going back to school with us, Tom.
My pleasure.
Now, your Hot Dub Time Machine show is all about harking back to a bygone era, and we're doing that with you, but it's not too far back. Can you tell us a little bit about what you were like as a student?
As a student, I was very good at school. I was a very well-behaved, kind of very studious. I did really well at high school, and then I went to uni, and it all came crumbling down.
Well, I want to get to that because that sounds pretty riveting. But so you were studious. Were there particular lessons you gravitated to? Was it music, or was it actually some of the other fields you?
Yeah, I actually moved around school a lot when I was a kid. Like my family moved around a fair bit, so I went to like about 7 or 8 different schools over my whole schooling. So, and that's always kind of, it wasn't great. And so like the last move, we came over from New Zealand when I was like 16. And at that point, I really got into music. And at all those different schools, like I would always just go hang out in the music department. I'm not a great musician. Like I was always a second-rate drummer, or I'm kind of like mediocre at a lot of instruments. But the music department was just always the best.
Was it difficult holding on to friends as you were kind of moving around to schools?
Yeah, definitely. And it's like, yeah, it's exhausting, and I don't wish it on anyone. Actually, moving schools is tough.
Do you think that's why you ended up gravitating towards music?
Yeah, I think, maybe it is. Because it's nice, you're always looking for a little community. Like when you first come into a new school, it's just hard to meet people and you're trying to find an identity. And for me, it's always finding where the music department was.
So tell me about this transition then. So you discover music around 16, you get into it. The wheels maybe come off a bit later on. Tell me what happens in that little period there.
Of going into uni and stuff. I think I did really well at school, and I was a maths kind of guy. And then I got to uni, I did a communications degree, and that was marked as a pass-fail course. So you they no longer treated you special if you got like 100. You know, a high distinction was the same as a pass. They didn't even tell you if you got a high distinction. And like for someone who came from really rigid schooling where, you know, you're constantly being rewarded for being smart, like that just blew my mind that I didn't have to try anymore. So I didn't try. And I also had been very, very well behaved through school, and then I hit uni and got into, I started working hospitality, like working as a kitchen hand and bartender, and I enjoyed that more than uni. I really should have postponed. I really regret actually that I didn't take like a year off between school and uni. I think that's a really valuable thing. Like if some people have that drive and they really know what they want to do straight out of school, in that case, like go to uni and check it out. But like it's, I kind of wasted my parents' money, to be honest. Like I should have just chilled out for a year and worked out what I wanted to do with my life before I did it.
Did you finish your degree, or did you?
I did, barely. I decided my Bachelor of Arts, my last subject, it was called Digital Sound and Music, which you think would be kind of my thing. But like I turned up to like 5 lectures. Right. It was just, I was not a, in retrospect, I wasn't a healthy guy. Like I had a lot of stuff going on. But I knew the lecturer really well because I was always hanging out, playing with the gear and stuff. And I sent him an email. I was working on a boat up at Mooloolaba in Queensland. I sent him an email going, dude, you got to let me pass this subject. It's my last one at uni. Like, let me pass. And he's like, all right, give me like 1,500 words on your favorite musician. I was like, great. DJ Shadow at the Internet Cafe. Banged it out. And I got an arts degree. I'm like, great.
Now what?
Yeah.
Well, what did you kind of foresee as your career at that time? Was that even a thought for you when you were
big time. I was very focused on radio. I really wanted to work for Triple J. And so I did community radio for years, and I actually went into Triple J Studios and hung out a few times, and like I was really keen to get into that. But emotionally, I just wasn't ready for that kind of work yet, I didn't think.
When did you start to imagine that music and being a DJ could actually be a viable career to explore?
Well, this is my 3rd career that I'm on. So like after uni, so I did my arts degree, and then I went and backpacked and did all that stuff I should have done earlier. And in that time, I kind of worked out a bit more what I wanted to do. So I came back and I did the first year of a master's degree. I went back and did a master's, and in that master's, I studied sound post-production because I was also really into sound design. And then sound post-production, which is they're the people who make all the sound effects and just make the soundtrack of film and TV shows. It's really fun, creative part of film. And so yeah, actually I was in those lectures, I did a course and I thought, I want to do this. This is my thing, I can do this, because it's a job, but you get paid to play with sounds. And so yeah, from that I went and did work experience, like just at every studio in Sydney, and just hard worked to get myself a job. And so then I got a job at a studio, and then I worked in sound post-production for like 10 years. And then like DJing was always just a hobby. It was just something that I did because I loved it. Like DJing is always something really special to me. And gradually that hobby took over, very much so in the last 4 years. I was kind of getting tired with post-production too. I was getting a bit, and then that kind of just faded away, and the DJing has really picked up. So yeah, now I'm a DJ.
Would you ever want to go back and finish your masters or explore another route down the line, even though DJing is obviously a fantastic career? Is there something like you felt like you missed out on in terms of study?
I think I'd gotten everything I was going to get out of that uni at the time. I think, and yeah, I think I'm really interested in going back and like teaching and lecturing. I'm really into that. Yeah, I'm actually going to do a lecture at in my DJing and that kind of stuff at a place in Sydney later on this year, which is going to be great. I'm going to put it on YouTube and stuff. But I still have enormous respect for uni, and particularly like the stuff that I learned doing, like even though I gloss over like my undergraduate degree and say it was a waste of time, but like the stuff I learned there is like I still use every day, because there was this freedom to make sounds and like do all this work, and just because you had access to the gear, like it was amazing, and so I still use all that stuff today, I think.
Is there anything from like your student days, but not necessarily in school, you thought, that was really valuable, I'm still using that information, even though it was something you learned just because you were 15?
Definitely at uni, it was like I learned to not want to be like everyone else. I think like in school, like conformity was really important and stuff, and then I went to uni, and particularly when I came back into that postgraduate course, it was really interesting studying all these kind of avant-garde people and musicians and artists who I didn't know about because they're not pop stars and stuff, but like, and you go, oh, that's really cool. You don't have to. You can really try and do your own thing.
Just to wrap up, is there one piece of advice that you would give to students today based on your own experiences?
Make sure you know what you want to do before you get into it, and like the time at uni, especially, it's so precious and it's so great. Make sure you know what you want to do, and so that when you're there, you're getting the most out of it.
Excellent. Tom, thanks so much for your time today.
My pleasure.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed that video, click here to subscribe to our YouTube channel, or find more of our stuff at studentedge.com.au.